Welcome to the special afternoon edition of the Joseph Evaldi Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Evaldi. Now, this podcast will have two parts. One part will be me talking and airing some stuff out. And two will be with my friends whenever that happens. It's about relationships, breakups, and all that other stuff. Well, first, I want to say I've been going through a bad breakup these past few weeks. Now, rather the fault is mine or hers, it's both of our faults. And we just have to gather our pieces and accept that it's time to move on. As hard as it may seem, even though when you have that dead feeling in that room and you know nothing you can do can actually change it, it's when you make a difficult decision. Do you fight for something that's not there anymore? Or do you make the bold move and move on? Now, I'm not going to air the dirty laundry of what happened with the breakup. Some of my friends know and everything else. But I will say this. When love is withdrawn from both parties and not even willing to make that effort to patch it up, no matter who's hurt, it could be me, it could be her, which for the most end is both of us. I hurt her, and she really hurt me. But how do you know when it's time to move on? Are you going to keep on fighting for something that you know deep down in your heart is not there? That you went through that relationship and you try to feel something. You try to feel chemistry. And it is what it is. You fight like hell to keep it. You work and you work. You work to keep that relationship going. And in that work, how do you keep it? How do you keep that love from dying? Well, once it's gone, it's hard to get it back. But you can't deny what your feelings are and what you felt through that. If you know something ain't right, you can't just stay through the pain. As hard as it is. If they were honest with you, then it's another story. They could have said, I was with this person. Even though that initial thing would have hurt, they would have been honest with you. And you would have built trust out of it. When it's done behind your back, as was done to me, it stung. And I might be dwelling upon the past, even though I might have said some hurtful stuff along the way in the heat of the moment. But I felt burned. And maybe that's what relationships are. You feel that burn. You feel something ain't right. Somebody is going to try to do something intentional to you, just to get you feeling that pain that they feel. Well, how do you know when it's time to move on? When you feel that pain, and when you know something ain't right, and as much as you try your damnedest to get some emotion out of them, you try your hardest to get them to feel something, and they feel nothing, and they show you nothing, even though they're hurt. They don't give you the gratitude, and they make you feel even worse. You have to look yourself in the mirror, and you gotta ask yourself a question. Was that love worth it? Was it worth it for you to go through that pain, that agony, and everything else, when somebody else could give you the world, treat you right, give you the time of day, letting you speak, letting you vent, letting you get all those emotions out, and also letting you feel alive again and heal that pain that's within. You have to ask yourself a question. Was it worth it? Dealing with somebody who criticizes you all the time, puts you down. And I know I've been guilty of this too, so it's bantering back and forth. That's the nature of the relationship. But with the communication breakdown, that's what happened. And I am now single again. Was engaged, but now single. But as much as I try to convey that hurt of what I went through, as as much as I try to show and try my damnedest that things will be better, I have to ask this question. When she is doing what she's doing, not willing to fight for something that I care about, and she has only one shot, because I did what I could, is it time to move on? Well, this is a question that many face, and I will answer that question after the break. The next audio clip is on Finding Christmas, the story of Joseph, and how ironic is it that I play an audio clip for an audiobook in Christmas that's a love story. But it makes sense. More after the break.
He was praying for a miracle in his life. He had been poor and wanted a better life than he had been living. He knew it was going to be another Christmas coming up, and it was the day before Thanksgiving. He was about to leave, and then he bumped into Chris. Joseph said, "Ouch." Chris said, "Keep your head up. You might miss something." "I think I am. It's the holidays again, and I'm in more debt than before. I don't have any hours at work, and my books aren't selling." Chris says, "I'm granting you 3 wishes, and they will be granted Christmas Day. You'll be amazed how much your life would change." Joseph said, doubting Chris's words, "I don't believe it will. You're joking." "I'm dead serious. Like Joseph witnessed on Christmas, the 3 wise men presented him with 3 gifts. Your name is entitled to these 3 wishes. One will be granted on Christmas Eve. The other 2 are on Christmas Day. And your hard work will pay off, despite how much you think. These wishes will make you feel like a child again. I ask you one gift to me, and that you will meet me every Sunday at the coffee house for 2 hours, your treat." "Okay, if these wishes come true, then I'll be true to my part of the gift, even if I doubt it." "What are your wishes?" Joseph said, "You'll never guess what happened." Jen said, "What is it now?" Joseph said, "I ran into a guy who said he would grant me 3 wishes for Christmas. I don't believe it, though." "So you ran into a genie?" "Well, not exactly, but he said his name was Chris, and he said he wanted to meet me every Sunday leading up to Christmas." "And you're going to do it?" "It doesn't hurt, unless my wishes won't be granted." "What did you wish for?" Joseph's father said, "I'll talk more to you later, but today is a day to be thankful. What are you thankful for, Joseph?" "I'm not sure there is one thing I'm thankful for this year. I had a crappy year."
I'm back at the Joseph Evaldi Podcast, and I was discussing about how do you make that decision. Well, hold on 1 second. How do you make that decision? Well,